Good, let's get started. My name is Steve Crockett. Good evening, everyone. I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate your time and the effort that you're going to put into this seminar/workshop tonight, and we're ready to get started. Okay, well, about a month ago, when we were finishing up the Mike Lipsey series, at the end of the series, Dave went around the room and asked us all what we wanted to discuss about. And it got to me, and I said, inside prospects. Well, after I got closer to this particular day, I realized I could teach you guys inside prospects in 5 minutes. It wasn't going to work. I'd be done, I'd be sitting here looking at Dave, he'd be looking at me and going, what the fuck are you going to talk about for the next 25 minutes? You can edit that, right? So, going back and kind of looking over the Lipsey series, one of the things that Mike Lipsey was big about was database. And can anybody remember what Mike said about database?
They're important.
So the one thing I remembered he said was, all else being equal, the person with the best database wins.
That's right.
So, what we're going to do today is talk about databases, what database is, how can we get information up to your database, how can we get information out of your database, how can we drive information back and forth. So, basically, we're going to start like this. This up here is going to be your database. You probably don't have one yet. I know you use REA, you use Outlook, you use
Outlook right now.
Outlook.
Outlook.
I use that. Doesn't matter what you use. Just use it. Get to know it real well. They all have their pluses or minuses, but we're not here to talk about that today. We're just talking about the transfer of information and where you get it and how you get it. Okay. So with your database here, basically it's made up of 3 things: tenants, landlords, and property. And everything you kind of do in here is going to revolve around that. So what you have down here is, this is what I call your big primordial soup of real estate information. So can you guys give me some examples of what would you consider would be in here? And I'll start off, we'll make it easy, like tenants are in here. This is information you want to get into your database or have knowledge of. What else?
Information in the, what was the question?
All right.
Streets, addresses,
Streets,
phone numbers,
addresses, phone numbers,
okay.
contacts,
Square footage,
landlords,
lease curve,
square footage, lease comps,
Acquisition criteria.
sales comps, demographics, traffic counts. It's going to go on and on and on. It's all swimming around down in here. What you need to figure out is how to capture it, just the stuff, refine it, define it, get it up here, and then spit it out to the person that wants it. So that's what we're going to attempt to cover today and help you guys out in doing. So, in this area right here, below your database is what we're going to utilize here, and it's, I'm going to help you out. I basically printed out about 10 valuable real estate database tools and websites, and we can discuss them a little bit, and then we're going to go right into using them to see if we can learn how to use them, practice how to use them, gather the information we need, and then spit it out to the people you need. So, instead of letting you guys guess, did all this here for you today. Here's the sites, what we're going to look at. There's the websites, how you get to them. Is there passwords involved? What kind of information that you get from them? And so on and so on. There's obviously other ones that you can use that I didn't put on here. That would be, hold on, let me find my notes. Okay, above and beyond these that you should know how to get to and use on a regular basis, there would also be like Dun & Bradstreet, all your local periodicals, Manta business information. Obviously, you're going to have to know how to use Google. Google can help you find like a ton of information out there that you're looking for. So,
Hoovers?
Yeah, Hoover's is on there. Hoover's is like a Dun& Bradstreet. You know, so if you guys are looking for, and it's like an Inside Prospects, it's like a tenant database within Costar. So if you're looking for information out there, that would be one of the tools. But we don't have to use it. We got Inside Prospects and what have you. So what I want to find out from you guys is, knowing this in your daily real estate work, do any of you have any problems that you have when trying to access information, trying to disseminate this information, gather this information? How do you get this information? How do you spit it out? And it could be anything. I can make you pull out the piece of paper and write 3 things down.
Passwords, remembering access.
They have sites like that that do that and autofill, but we won't talk about that today. I want to say pertaining to, I don't want to spit out information like graphs or absorption or stuff like that, but more pertaining to tenants, landlords in particular.
Well, I think Costar is really lacking in their tenant database. They have a lot of missing information. A lot of times they don't have the numbers for the contacts you need. A lot of times they're missing the lease term, and actually the tenants in actual multi-tenant buildings, they're always missing certain companies. So
yeah, they are. I mean, and you're going to find that amongst all like tenant databases. Probably the information that you're going to get is probably about 80% correct. You know, if that, but you can download it, you can look at it. We shoot out the mailers to like tenants out there if you're like targeting a specific type of tenant or a use within a city. So yeah, that information is always going to be, you know, probably 70 to 80% correct. Why don't we do this? Since we're going to be short on time, we're going to go right into this hat. And we're going to make you guys think right away and how to deal with certain situations. And what we're going to do, we'll discuss it, and I'll walk you through it because I kind of worked on this the last couple of days, how to do it. And it's going to be pertaining to how do you find a property? How do you find the landlord? How do you find the tax information on that particular property? If you don't have an address, how do you find out, you know, where the property is? What does an APN number do for you? How do you target specific tenants with SIC codes? Create a mailing list. How do you pull out comps, you know, from the systems that we have here and get them out to, you know, whoever needs them? So, I'm going to go around the room with Blair. We're going to start let's start with you first.
good.
Dig in. So, there's scenarios in here that's going to cover or try to utilize a lot of these tools that we're looking at here. It's going to create the scenario. Go ahead and read it, then we'll figure out how to get through it.
Scenario number 1. You are sitting with Patrick in his office around 6 p.m., both enjoying a glass of some 18-year-old scotch. After discussing Obama politics, religion, and the state of our economy, you both happen to look across the street and wonder what in the hell is going on with that piece of dirt on the corner. Find the dirt, find who owns it, when they bought it, where are they located, size, parcel, map, etc.
All right.
That's a great question because I seriously do want to know that.
All right. So, if we were looking out the window, it was daylight. It's that piece of dirt right across the corner. Dirt has no address. So, that makes it a little bit particularly hard to find, but however, there's some tools that Costar provides. And I want to let you know that Costar is a fantastic tool. It's going to provide you with about 90% of whatever you're going to need to find or know in there. So, I don't expect you to know the answer or where to start on this one. However, I could ask Kyle?
I would do an aerial search and zoom in, right click, and they'll give you the APN numbers. I'd grab that APN number, and if it doesn't have the information, sometimes it doesn't, then take the APN and look it up in Chicago Title, and that will probably give you the contact information.